Welcome to the Learn English Podcast Daily. My name is Claire.
My name is James. By listening to this, you may learn English in a very simple way.
Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. Okay, let's deep into the topic.
When you think about what makes a society truly thrive, what builds its future, it's not just buildings or banks. It rests on knowledge, on values, and the people actually building that foundation, the architects. They're our teachers. So today we're going to take a deep dive into World Teachers' Day. It happens every year, October 5th. And our mission here is, well, it's pretty critical. We want to get beyond just the usual thank you cards, the sort of surface level stuff. We really want to understand the history, the policy meaning, and why this day is actually a big deal for global education.
That's exactly right. World Teachers' Day, and yeah, it's been observed globally since 1994. It's much more than just marking a date. It's a necessary global moment, a time for recognition, for reflection, and gratitude for the huge impact educators have everywhere, on everything.
Okay, let's unpack that history then. October 5th. Lots of people know the date, but it wasn't just picked at random, was it? What's the story there? What made this day, this specific date, so important?
Well, it goes back quite a way. It's rooted in a really significant global commitment to elevate the teaching profession itself. The real cornerstone was laid, believe it or not, back on October 5th, 1966, in Paris. That was the day UNESCO and the International Labor Organization, the ILO, they adopted this landmark document. It's got a long title, but it's important. The UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers.
Right, UNESCO and the ILO. That sounds like serious international policy. What was so revolutionary about that 1966 recommendation?
Well, what's crucial here is that it wasn't just, a nice suggestion. It was the first time the world really came together and said, look, teaching isn't just a job. It formally declared it a profession. A technical one, needing specific skills, deserving international status, protection, and, importantly, pay comparable to other skilled professions. It basically laid out a whole international framework, the first real blueprint setting global standards for everything. Teacher rights, their responsibilities, how they should be trained, employed, their working conditions. It was a formal statement that, look, the quality of your education system, it simply cannot be better than the quality of your teachers, full stop.
Okay. So it wasn't just guidelines. It was about establishing teaching as a legitimate, high-skill profession, deserving proper recognition and support. That makes sense then why the 1994 proclamation of World Teachers' Day landed on October 5th. It was deliberately chosen to mark that 66 signing and to keep those principles alive in the conversation, right?
Precisely. So World Teachers' Day isn't just about, giving teachers an apple or a pat on the back. It's designed as a crucial platform for advocacy. It does three main things. One, yes, appreciate teachers, celebrate what they achieve, but two, critically, address the real issues, the challenges they face. And third, it's about mobilizing support, getting governments and the public behind, ensuring teachers have what they need.
That distinction is key, isn't it? Celebration plus mobilization. And I guess the annual theme really drives that mobilization part, gives it focus.
It absolutely does. Each year, the theme acts like a lens, focusing global attention and advocacy efforts. And the day is co-convened, you see, by UNESCO, the ILO, and Education International, that's EI, the Global Union Federation representing millions of teachers. So that partnership helps ensure the theme tackles the really pressing issues teachers themselves are identifying. Like, for example, 2023's theme was spot on. The teachers we need for the education we want. The global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage.
Right. The teacher shortage, a massive global problem needing that kind of focused global push.
Exactly. And, while we don't know the official 2025 theme just yet, you can probably guess the neighborhood it'll be in. Given global trends, it's likely going to grapple with things like artificial intelligence in education or the teacher's role in sustainable development, building peace, these big picture challenges.
Okay, so let's zoom out again. Why is this profession so foundational? You mentioned their impact goes way beyond the classroom. Let's dig into those dimensions of their impact.
Right. Well, first, maybe most obviously, they are the shapers of society. They teach literacy, numeracy, sure. But much more than that, they're cultivating critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, the skills everyone needs now. They're teaching people how to learn, how to navigate the world, not just subjects.
And beyond the purely intellectual side, there's the personal stuff too, the character.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the second dimension, builders of character and confidence. Teachers are often vital mentors, role models. They instill values, empathy, resilience, integrity. Just think back. Probably everyone listening can remember a teacher whose encouragement, maybe just one comment, sparked something. It can literally change a kid's whole view of themselves, their trajectory. Then third, they're powerful agents of social change and inclusion. Teachers are often right there on the front lines, building inclusive classrooms where kids from all sorts of backgrounds, all abilities learn together. They challenge prejudice just by creating that environment. They empower marginalized students. It's fundamental work for equality.
Okay, and then the fourth one you mentioned, this economic multiplier idea, that sounds a bit corporate for a classroom. Can you unpack that? It's really like investing in a teacher gives a tenfold return or something.
Well, maybe not tenfold exactly, but the principle holds that the research is actually very strong on this. There's a clear link between the quality of teaching in a country and how well students do. And that feeds directly into the economy. Better skills, more innovation, higher earning potential. It boosts national prosperity. So yeah, investing in good teachers. It's one of the smartest economic investments a country can make. Seriously.
So essential for society, essential for the economy, we've established that. But if that blueprint was laid down back in '66 with such high ideals, why does it feel like the whole structure is, well, under strain today? Let's talk about those challenges. What are the big ones?
Yeah, we have to be realistic. The profession globally is facing some immense pressures. Three big interconnected ones stand out. First, the global teacher shortage. It's staggering. UNESCO data suggests we need millions more teachers, like over 44 million globally, just to hit the basic education goals by 2030. And the shortage is really acute in places like sub-Saharan Africa or areas affected by conflict.
44 million. Wow, that's not just a staffing gap. That's a crisis point for global development.
It really is. Second, there's the issue of workload and burnout. Teachers are often overwhelmed. It's not just big classes, it's the mountain of administrative tasks, the pressure of standardized tests, endless meetings, parental communication, plus the emotional toll of supporting kids with increasingly complex needs. It leads to huge stress and drives talented people out of the profession too early. And third, there's the constant need for modern skills. Technology is changing everything so fast. Teachers need ongoing training in digital literacy, how to teach effectively online, how to use AI ethically. But often the support, the funding, the time for that training just isn't there.
So that vision from 1966, that standard of professional respect, proper support, that's still the North Star, the goal we need to get back to.
Absolutely. It has to be. The teacher's role is changing. Yes, they're becoming more like curators of information, guides for digital citizenship, but the core needs are the same. To get quality education, you have to provide teachers with 4 key things: quality training, ongoing, competitive pay salaries that actually reflect their importance, professional autonomy, trusting them to teach, and supportive work environments, safe schools, enough resources, good leadership.
And like the sources say, can't really half-bake it. UNESCO put it bluntly. Without qualified and motivated teachers, even the most perfect education system and curriculum will fail. Okay, so let's bring it back to October 5th itself. How do people actually mark the day around the world? And maybe more importantly for listeners, what are the really impactful ways we can show appreciation? Ways that go beyond, the usual stuff.
Well, globally, you see a mix. There are definitely local school celebrations, assemblies, kids making cards, which is lovely. Governments often have awards ceremonies, Teacher of the Year, highlighting success stories. But the more policy-focused events are things like conferences and professional development seminars. These often tie into the annual theme, discussing the big issues. And you also see NGOs and unions running advocacy campaigns, using the day to spotlight funding needs, the shortages, working conditions.
Right. But for an individual listener, say a parent or even a student wanting to do something meaningful, what really hits home for a teacher?
That's a great question, honestly. Often the most meaningful things aren't material gifts. What teachers often treasure most is a specific heartfelt letter. Not just, thanks for being a great teacher, but detailing a particular moment. Like, I finally understood that concept when you explained it this way, or you really boosted my confidence when you noticed X. That kind of specific recognition, it means the world. Or, maybe a class could put together a short video tribute saying thank you in their own words, highlighting those specific moments.
That makes sense. The personal, specific feedback. And thinking bigger picture for society, how do we appreciate them in a way that tackles those challenges we talked about?
Yeah, the most powerful gift society can give is to advocate for them. Seriously, engage with local representatives, school boards. Push for better school funding, for genuinely competitive salaries that reflect their value. Advocate for solutions to burnout, maybe policies reducing unnecessary admin. Push for dedicated funding for tech training. Basically, use your voice to support the conditions outlined in that 1966 recommendation. And, amplify positive stories online. Use the hashtags, #World Teachers Day, #ThankATeacher. Show support publicly.
This has been a really illuminating deep dive. I think the key thing for you, our listener, to take away is that World Teachers Day, especially as we look towards 2025, is so much more than just a day for gratitude. It's really an annual reminder of a commitment to policy, to professional respect, and crucially to investment.
Absolutely. The conclusion from all the sources is crystal clear. When we honor teachers, when we actively support them, we're investing directly in the architects of a better future, a wiser, kinder, more prosperous world for everyone.
So that 1966 recommendation set a really high bar for respecting teachers as the professionals they are. If we truly believe that the quality of education can't rise above the quality of its teachers, then the final thought we have to leave you with is this. What are we really doing? What concrete actions, what commitments to training, resources, pay are we actually prioritizing every other day of the year outside of October 5th? How do we make sure our societal commitment genuinely matches how foundational this profession truly is? Something vital to think about.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. Let's meet soon with a new interesting topic. Have a nice day.